Well, the Philippines has imposed strict quarantine measures across the main island of Luzon, home to half the country's population. Now, the move is to curb the surge of cases, which have risen from just 10 days ago, to 140 now. Now, under the new measures, all citizens must stay at home and avoid unnecessary travel. All work and transport services, they'll be suspended immediately, except for essential services. Now, the community quarantine began yesterday in Metro Manila, but there has been criticism over how it's been implemented, as Buena Bernal reports.
We're here at one of the 5 major checkpoints of the Southern Police District of the regional capital, Metro Manila, and what we're seeing are enforcement challenges on the ground, including the lack of thermal scanners, so the required thermal checks are not being done. There's also the disproportionate ratio between manpower and the volume of private vehicles that need to be checked. You have to understand Metro Manila houses the major commercial and business districts where the jobs are, and the surrounding areas are mostly residential with lower housing costs. So you can just imagine the number of both private and public vehicles that pass through tollways and other entry points to the region like this. Now, there's also the perception that transportation will be limited due to the community quarantine, so passengers are forced to cram themselves in public utility vehicles, so they're also unable to comply with that 1 meter physical distance prescribed by the government. Of course, authorities are saying we're still at the initial stages of the quarantine, and therefore these logistical mishaps can still be sorted out. But without correcting these, it actually defeats the purpose of the community quarantine. Commuters we've spoken to say it's been easy for public utility vehicles from outside Metro Manila to enter the region and pass through those border checkpoints. But they said it's been difficult to hail a ride if your route is just within the urban center. Authorities have warned public transport franchise holders that suspending their operations requires government approval, and doing so without that approval is tantamount to abandoning one's franchise. Now, if you can see these vehicles behind me, they're called jeepneys, a type of public transport in the Philippines, and some jeepney drivers, in an effort to abide by that social distancing advice of authorities, have found ways to limit the number of their passengers.
Mabali kasi nung bumibiyaya ko, parang ang hirap magpababa ng pasero. Sabi nila yung pag raw ng pasero, limitahan lang, wag marami. Kaya nung pagdating ko sa garahe, nag-isip ako, nalagyan na lang ng karton. Malaki po ang nawala kasi kagaya nung jeep ko po, 10 po. Tapos ngayon 6 na lang.
Ang hirap po sumakay ngayon. Kailangan ho one seat apart. Pag yung rush hour ako, napakahirap po.
The community quarantine on Metro Manila will end on April 14, and classes are suspended across the region until April 12. Buena Bernal, CNA, Manila.